Judy, we love you, Judy. Judge Judy, we love you, Judge Judy. Judy. All baby mamas, y'all need to understand this. This is facts. Stop letting your anger get in the way of your children being in their father's lives. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Listen to Judy. Cause Judy not gonna lie. We love you, Judy. Judy!
Mothers and fathers the same with regard to custody. No one has a less equal position. However, when I practiced in the family court and then was later a judge in the family court, I found that that law was honored in the breach. Most judges and most psychologists that served the court always thought that the mother was better. And I didn't always find that that was true. You have a child with him? Yes. That's not your child. That's both of your child. Just a second. That child is both of yours. So either you take the child or he takes the child. He's the father no less than you're the mother.
No.
Yeah, what's good, T-Bossy, man? As y'all know, this is my sister. You know what I'm saying? This is my son's aunt. And just keep it a buck, man. When the last time you seen Micah, and how do you feel about fathers not being able to see their kids when they actually trying and paying and all that stuff?
Well, it's been since he was in diapers since I've seen him. Yeah. I don't even know if he was walking. Really, that's how long it's been.
Yeah, how that make you feel, man? Like, how that make you feel? How that make you feel for real? Like,
I mean, it made me feel kind of bad because I don't want him growing up thinking that we don't care, and we do. We're here. Just like we have other nephew and niece. They chose what they chose, but I want to be in my nephew's life. I mean, you know, he need to know his cousins. Yeah. And how I feel about that is with men who actually want to be in their sons' lives, or even the kids' lives.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
The ones that pay child support, they are actually trying to come see the kids. You know, I don't feel it's right. And the moms is the ones who was going to regret it later.
But it's unfair for the children. And if you deny them the right to see their father, they will eventually hate you.
It's sad. It's real sad.
You got anything you want to say to Micah right now? Like, anything you want to say?
Just know we love and care, okay? Whether you see this when you're 18 or 21, or it might take a long time, whatever. When you see this, just know we love you. And we did and do want to know you, okay? Auntie Toba.
Hey, 100%, man. I appreciate your, your honesty and how everything is, man. Cause like I got these excerpts and clips from Judge Judy, pretty much saying a lot of the women who in the wrong, they really in the wrong, and it's just breakdowns because it's just a lot of good breakdowns to defend fathers that actually want to be in their kids' lives, like. Why would you deny me the right and I'm actually trying to be there? Quit being bitter. Nobody hurt you, abused you, anything. Got a new life, new family. So why be so mad? That, you know what I'm saying? Got healthy parents that's still alive that still care. We shouldn't have to suffer for it. You know? So.
I agree, totally. I mean, no accountability taken, so. Yeah. I don't know. They got to do better.
Yeah, you got to have accountability. Or it's just gonna look like you the bad guy the whole time around. So, like, I mean, get your head out your ass. Look at the big picture. The kids gonna suffer if we don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't come together as parents, able-bodied minded people, like, to be there for you. Like, then the kids gonna suffer more than anybody. And I think it's wrong.
I agree.
All right, man. But I appreciate your time. For sharing your opinion and showing your love. You know, if you want to give a shout out to anything, man, just give a shout out to your business, your expertise. You know.
Shout out to myself, T-Bossy the Barberette, and shout out to the Flint Barber team. If you ever in the city, always come check us out.
For sure, man. Y'all know what it is. That's what's up.
Right downtown.
All right. Thanks again for your interview, homie. We'll check you out.
I'm out.
All right, peace. That's dope. When the last time you heard from my son, your grandson Micah, man? Like,
I had a little FaceTime visit about a year ago, and I asked his mother to at least FaceTime me once a week so I could keep up with my grandson, and that week has still hasn't come. I haven't physically saw my grandson since he was 3.
Sad and unfortunate, like, same with me. Like, I ain't seen him since he was 3 years old. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Like, and I'm paying child support. I had visitation rights, and I still couldn't see him. Like, physically, I haven't seen him since he was 3. He's 9 years old now. What, like, I wasn't abusive. I didn't touch my, like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't do nothing.
No, I know you were a good father. That's one thing I'll give you. You were a good father. I've known you all your life, and it's like this. I don't believe in the parents, the grown-ups, using the children against because they're mad at the father and poisoning the kids all their life against their father or mother, for that matter, whichever the case may be. But I think it's horrible, and something should be done about it. At least FaceTime me. If she didn't want to bring my grandson to see me physically, I asked her once a week, at least once a week, so I could keep up with my grandson.
Right. And it wasn't even about the schedule of her working or anything. Like, what's 300 seconds on FaceTime? That's 5 minutes. Like, what's 5 minutes? For people that actually care and want to be there. See, real quick, y'all, I didn't have a dad growing up. Like, I had my grandparents. So, of course, I grew up with everything I needed, and that's just what it was. But, like, when it came to, like, a father figure, like any guy grew up in an urban area, you go to the streets, you go to your big homies, and then luckily I had my mom, you know what I'm saying? That's who I'm on FaceTime now, giving her testimony. It's just at the same time, it's just like, it's not cool, man. Mothers, stop being so bitter and angry that the man got a new life, a new family. Let him see his kids. But like Judge Judy said, man, your kids will get older, they'll grow up and resent and hate you for that.
But it's unfair for the children. And if you deny them the right to see their father, they will eventually hate you. I want you to understand that.
Justifiably.
They don't know anything other than what their mom is telling them.
So when they start seeing things like, Micah, if you ever see this video when you get older, just know everybody that I'm associated with, my mom, your grandmother, your aunties, and we love you. We always wanted to see you, man. We never wanted to be away from you guys. Like it.
Okay, listen. I want to say this to my son, you, Lighthouse. I'm smiling right now. If y'all can't see me, I'm smiling. I love that. Even though your father wasn't in the picture, he was still around. And I never poisoned your father against you, ever.
She didn't. She never talked bad on my dad, ever.
Ever. And I said give him time or whatever. I don't have to elaborate on it, but I will say this. It's wrong. Just because me and his dad, my son's dad, did not make it, that didn't make him a bad person.
You didn't.
Whatever the case may be, my son was able to face, one-on-one, and with my presence, not saying a word, have his questions answered, get that clarity, and look his father in the eyes. And his father stood him up, put his hands on his shoulders, and said, here's my number. I'll pay for the DNA test. I don't have a doubt that you're not mine. You are mine. I just need proof. Just understand that. And whatever it costs, I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
Horribly, his father died or got killed, whatever. But he at least got to talk to him when he got his questions together. Like I told my son, don't go accusing him, stabbing at him, harping at him. If you have questions you need answered, get them together and you talk to that man, look him in his eyes, and you talk with respect and a certain tone of voice. You hear him out. Don't, and that's exactly what happened. At least he got clarity.
Yeah.
And he gave my son a hug and said to you, do you think I like not spending time with you growing up and stuff? Just understand, I needed to know, okay? And God bless the child that has his own.
Yeah.
Now my ride is here. I gotta go. Peace out. I love you. That's peasy. No.
All right, love you too, Ma.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Hey, moms and dads. Hey, moms. These fathers, these sons need their fathers.
100%.
Not trying to steal them or poison them against you. Give them a chance.
That's right.
They deserve it. It's their right. It took two of y'all to make one.
That's
so
right.
Get it together and work it out. Love you guys. Bye.
Love you. Hey, so y'all seen it for yourselves, man. Like my father got murdered April 14th of 2006. When my mom was just talking about it, I talked to my father one-on-one. 6 months later, he got murdered. The first time I ever had a heart-to-heart with him, gave him an actual physical hug and everything. And then I moved to Texas. This right when Hurricane Katrina happened. And it crushed me. I finally I got a relationship with my father. If when you ever come back to Michigan, whatever you need, I got you. We could do this. We could take it over. We could take over everything together. Unfortunately, he got killed 6 months later. And it crushed me. It turned me to the streets, drugs, everything. I wasn't a loser. I was on top of my stuff. But to make it so much more like realistic, my son was born 2 months after he got murdered. His first grandkid ever. I'm the oldest. And he never got a chance to meet his grandson. So I just encourage all fathers to really just don't give up on fighting for your kids, because I almost did, man. Like my youngest son, my mom was just talking about Micah. It got so long and so just so crushing to the point where I just didn't even want nothing to do with it no more. And I would never give up on you. Trust and believe that. It just hurt me more to see that you being raised ill-prepared, improperly, the things you going through without your biological parent being there. Step parents, that's cool too, but it's nothing like the energy and thermodynamic connection between biological parents and their biological children. It's really important, and it's good for your soul. It makes your energy rich and pure, and it matters. Like I said, man, to all the fathers out there, don't give up on y'all kids. Keep fighting. Keep doing what y'all doing, man, because eventually the child will see that. The mom can't poison the child to the point, like so much so in the future where they just hate you for it. If they do, they just want to see it one-sided. So if you got little children right now, leave breadcrumbs, videos, posts, anything that they could look back into the future and be like, damn, my dad really was trying to be there for me. And I always made a vow, since I didn't have my biological father, I don't care how many kids I have, and I don't care how many baby mamas I got, I don't care what I go through, I'ma always try to be physically there in my child's life. So don't give up on that, y'all. That's really important. Hey, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Lighthouse.
It's your girl Brenda J.
And it's the house effect. But like I was saying earlier, it's important for fathers and mothers alike to be in a child's life, no matter what. Y'all just gotta come to an understanding and agreement, like whatever party the child's favor in, and to be there and quit bickering. And the children don't need to grow up in that. It's unhealthy, it's toxic, and they don't deserve it.
Absolutely.
So my wife, Brenda J, she gonna give her account of all the times I've been trying to be there for my child, and she don't want to stop me from giving up. So she could give her representation on all the things and account of what happened throughout the years we've been together and the things that she's seen, just like y'all seen with my mother and my sister. So Brenda J, let them know.
Absolutely. So first of all, let me say this. When Chris and I first got together, I admired the fact that he was a single father already. And that's one thing that hasn't been mentioned, is that he has full custody of his oldest son. So for Micah's mother not to allow him to see his son, to talk to his son, to visit with his son, it's unfair. You know, it's selfish. I feel it's selfish. And my take on the matter is, with me being a single mom, whether my children's fathers paid child support or not, I never denied them to spend time to visit with their fathers or their father's side of the family. I still took them around. They spent weekends. They went on vacations with their fathers or their father's family. So I don't get it. I don't like it. I think it's unfair. We've reached out to her. She won't answer the phone. I've tried to call her from my number, you know, in the past years. We've even had his oldest son call from his number. She won't answer the phone. She won't pick up FaceTime. The only time that she calls and allows him to even speak with his son is around text time.
Sad but true.
Yeah, so this year was when I noticed it. I said to him, my husband, I said, have you noticed that the only time she allows you to speak with him is around tax time? So she'll call every year, just like she did like maybe a month ago. She's calling. Now he calls him every year on his birthday. He calls him for Christmas, and he calls him throughout the year. But she will not pick up the phone. She won't answer, you know. And I mean, it's sad, you know. I don't understand it as a mom. You know, I don't know what happened with them in the past, but I can only speak on the past few years that we've been together. And if I knew that my son's father had full custody of his son, a judge is not going to give you full custody of a child if you don't deserve it. I would admire that. I would look up to that. We've even tried to set up things with her where we could get him for the summer, because there's a distance between us. So maybe about a 4 hour ride. So we've talked about that. So we'll talk to her, but then, hey, we call her next week. She won't answer. It goes to voicemail. Like I said, a month ago she called. She's like, oh, I just realized that you called him for his birthday and you called him for Christmas. And when is his birthday? November
9th.
November, yeah. So January, end of January she calls?
Yep.
Yeah, because it's tax season. So to me, I feel it's only about the money. She doesn't care about their bond, the love that he has for his son or the love that his son has for him. It's really unfortunate.
See,
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and what my wife's saying is not a lie whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And to take into account so y'all could see the vivid picture, I did 6 years in prison. I came home November 18th, 2014. I had nothing. My family, the so-called family who had an accounts for my grandfather leaving me property, a vehicle, and money, I didn't get none of that. So, mind you, I came home, I got khaki dicky suit on, prison shoes, it's like 30 degrees, I have nothing. I'm sleeping from house to house, couch to couch. I met her like 2 weeks after I got out of prison. My mom introduced us. I didn't know the type of person she was or nothing. I did 6 years, do the math. So I'm living my life. I'm doing the best I can. I'm not breaking no laws on parole. And mind you, as soon as I come home, my oldest son's mom was mentally unstable and doing drugs. And mind you, I'm a parolee, fresh out with nothing, barely even got a job. So I end up getting a job. I'm working, I'm saving, I'm avoiding the police at all costs. I'm not doing nothing illegal. And you know how hard it is to come home with nothing, and you have an 8-year-old son that's looking up to you like he ain't even seen you since he was 3. So you doing all of this stuff and you trying your best to provide for that child. And throughout time, I had my youngest son, Micah, November 9th, 2015. It was quick to the jump, but it is what it is. I can't take that back. He wasn't a mistake.
Absolutely.
The things was going crazy. I'm not gonna put her details out there, but at the time, we just wasn't a good match. So fast forward to 2016, my son's almost a year old. I'm about to get off parole. I'm sleeping in my car. Like I told you, family members that had stuff that made promises to make sure I was okay, to help me excel in life as coming home from parole, they didn't do nothing for me. I had to sleep in my car in wintertime. I sacrificed places I could stay for my oldest son to stay. And at the same time, child support hit me. I'm not getting taxes. Relationships in the future are getting destroyed. People don't trust me because I can't pay them back. And I'm thinking I'm about to get tax money, but back child support destroyed me. My baby mama, she just didn't care what happened to me. And I got arrested. I had to do time in jail for child support. And the judge pretty much in Sanilac County, Michigan told me, hey, I don't care what you do. I don't care what she say. I don't care what the court says. If she don't want you to see the child, you can't see the child.
Right. And let me just
that's completely
right.
ridiculous.
Yeah. And what's crazy is when we first got together, he told me that. He said, well, I'm calling, down to Sanilac County, and they're telling me if she don't want me to see my son, I can't see him. And I said, no. I said, that can't be true. So we called together. I had him put it on speakerphone because I couldn't believe that they would tell him he couldn't see his son. It was up to her. So he called one day and he was asking about his visitation rights and, all that stuff.
Which I did have at the time.
So I heard the lady on the phone, the representative that he was talking to, tell him that if she doesn't want you to see him, you can't see him. And I was devastated because I couldn't believe it. I was blown away, pretty much. How how is it all just up to her when it takes two to make a child, you know? And I had to ask him, I said, was your name on the birth certificate? He like, yeah, you know, his name on the birth certificate, everything. But I don't know if she just wanted, because I believe at the time she had a fiance, boyfriend or whatever. Fiance. So it was all about, you know, her fiance and you know, their son together. So I don't know, like I said, what the issue is, but me as a mother, I would never, and I have never kept my children from their fathers, ever. Like I said before, whether they paid child support or they didn't pay child support, I never, and even when they weren't paying child support, I still let them see their father. I let them talk to them. I made sure they call their fathers on their birthday, Father's Day, because that's the type of mother that I am. So the situation, I don't understand it. I can't grasp it because it's just unbelievable. And for you to keep his son from him, and she won't even allow him to talk to him unless it's tax time. And he pays child support throughout the year. So whenever he falls behind or whatever, she knows she's about to get a certain portion of his money, and she calls every year like clockwork.
Yeah.
Every year, clockwork. January, she's calling. Wait, we forgot this part, babe. If you get the child support to 0,
I'll take you
off. Every year she said it.
3 years in a row since I've been with my wife.
Since we've been together.
I've paid
every
it to 0.
Single year.
Got proof. And it never gets taken off.
He has
I never
proof.
get taken off.
She called this year with the same thing. If you pay it to 0, I'll take you off. And I told him, I said she has a pattern. She does this every year. She calls, she says, if you pay it to 0, I'll take you off.
No. Okay, look. And to go back on to what I was saying before, I'm on parole. I get my first car. I'm working. I'm doing all this. My son's mom was mentally unstable and on drugs. Mind you, I'm on parole fighting to get full custody of my son, my oldest son. I'm driving back and forth to Detroit, to Flint, to Ann Arbor. All of this. Mind you, I'm struggling. I'm suffering. It's messed up out here. Mm-hmm. And for me to get granted custody, going through all the stuff that I was going through.
Absolutely.
You know how much sacrifice and paperwork you gotta do. How many lines you gotta wait in. How much stuff you gotta do. As an ex-con felon with almost nothing to get full custody of a child that you could barely take care of, that means a lot. That means something.
Yeah, it's admirable.
In the time I'm doing this, I got my son in the car. This is the last time I was with my youngest son, Micah's mom. She told my son to his face at 10 years old. That's why she's a crackhead and she's mentally unstable, and made my son bawl crying in the back seat. And there's nothing I could do. I couldn't put my hands on her. Wow. I tried to make her apologize. Wow. At that day, I never sat in a car with her. Anything, because you did that to my son. It took my son years to get over that, knowing that I'm asking family members who's well off for me to stay somewhere. Like, man, I'll sleep in the garage, please. Like, I don't have nowhere to go. I'm sacrificing where I have to stay for my son. Oh, we only can take one of y'all. I let my son do that. I did that for years, and I even begged my baby mama, like, man, I get $7,000 back in taxes because I was working a federal job and stuff for the water crisis. I'm like, yo, man, and on top of her $5,000 she getting, I'm like, can I at least get $2,000, man? I need to get my car fixed or get a better car. She said, I don't care what happened to you.
Wow.
She convinced her grandmother, her friends, her sister, and everybody else that I'm the bad guy. And all I am is a dad who want to be in his kid's life.
Right.
Like, where do I go wrong with that? See, now look, my son be 18 this year. Mm-hmm. Mind you, I done raised him since he was 8 years old by myself. Mm-hmm. He's a 3.5 GPA student. He has a little anger problem and stuff due to the lead in the water and all that stuff, but he's finna graduate high school this year. Mm-hmm. I'm proud of that. I accomplished that. I did that.
Absolutely.
And barely had any help doing it. Mm-hmm. I did have to resort to things that I'm not proud to say I did, but look at the statistics and the circumstances I had to go through. I'm not saying it's right. All I'm saying out of all of this is you sacrifice to be there for your kids no matter what. Right. And I mean, it's just sad and unfortunate. My son, 9 years old. Like, it's wild. It's just mad wild. I don't. Mm-hmm. I would love to see you, Micah. I love you. And for whoever see this is genuine and true. Yeah. All the accounts could be proven. My wife, she cares.
Yeah,
My sister care. My mom care. Your brother,
his brother, he had, and that's another thing I was thinking about too when we were talking. He has siblings. You know, he hasn't seen his siblings. And at least, you know, let him build a relationship. You know, like I said, as a mother, I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand how someone could be so cruel and selfish and just self-absorbed, you know, and it's just all about me. And Micah needs his father. He needs his father. You know, there's some things going on. We won't go into detail about that. But you only call when you really want something or you need something.
And real quick,
you know?
rubbing the benefit of your new partner and situation, claiming they make this much money and y'all have this and that. When turn around, I get to talk to my son. Y'all really don't got all that stuff.
Right.
And my son's kicked out of all public schools at the age of 8 years old. Got 16 stitches on his face and living in a messed up environment when I have a nice environment, a big yard, amenities and everything that's up to code and standard. To compare your life to mine that's ridiculous. My son don't deserve that. Why can't I just have him for the summer? Those the little things that matter. Those are the things that count. I'm not saying I'm the better suited parent. I'm saying that I need to be there.
Right.
Because my son is going through things as a young boy, and me getting the knowledge, finding out that he does not like women whatsoever. He won't listen to a woman whatsoever, and he hits women at 8 and 7 years old. I have a big problem with that.
Yeah.
None of my kids do that. I don't do that. And like the video excerpt said earlier with Judge Judy, man, your kids will grow up to hate you. I'm putting this on the internet so the world could see that mothers do not keep your children from their fathers.
Absolutely.
I don't care what he did to you. I don't care about none of that.
Right.
Don't badmouth the father or the mother and vice versa standards.
That's right.
Let the child decide who they gravitate to. It's important. It's a real physical connection between biological children and their parents. You can't substitute that with a stepdad or a stepmom. You can't substitute that.
Right.
It's important. And these kids are suffering, especially in the black community. Even in the low poverty community, no matter what color you are. It's not fair.
It's not fair. Yeah.
And that's pretty much all I gotta say, man. This video is a testimony, a documentary, and pretty much a shout out to everybody who trying. Don't give up, man.
Yeah, don't give up, y'all.
Don't give up, man.
It's gonna get better.
There's times I could just cry.
Yeah, he's hurt, and I don't like to see my husband hurting. So anything that I can do to try to, you know, ease the pain, because it's hurtful. You know, you haven't seen your child in 6 years. 6 years, that's hurtful. That's painful. You know, and he even tried to tell her, you know, about my background and education. We even came up with a schedule, right? We came up with a schedule but this was last year, January, because she only called around tax time. So we came up with the schedule. I put a plan in place when he was in school, he was going through whatever, you know, the discipline issues, whatever. I put a plan in action, or I wrote out a plan. I said, hey, let's do this. How about, you know, you call him every morning before he go to school. You know, you talk to him and give him a little pep talk, you know. We don't hear from her.
No answer.
No answer. You know, but you called because you were having these issues with him and you wanted some help. So when we put a plan in place, now you don't want to follow it, but you wanted some help, you know. And to me, it's all about the money, or she wants to erase him out of the way so she can have her family, you know, that she has now. She used to send him text messages, you know, saying how her fiance was a better father than he was. And, you know, when they going back and forth on these text messages, I told my husband, I said, forget all of that. I said, ask her, when can I see my son? When he texts that, she never texts back. She stopped talking. We're not doing the back and forth. When can I see my son? And when he texts that to her, she never responded. She didn't respond in that. Here we go again. We don't hear from you till next year around tax season.
Moral of the story, y'all, be the bigger person. Break the statistical mode of ghetto miscreant behavior and toxic stuff from keeping parents away from their kids.
Absolutely.
That's the whole moral of the story, man. I love y'all. If y'all watch this video, like, share, subscribe to a family member, a friend in need, or anything, man. We stronger together than we are apart. This your boy Lighthouse, man.
And your girl Brenda J.
And we out.
We out. Peace.
Thanks for watching.
Since I'm not adjudicating that or not, I have to tell you this. In 40 years, I've seen tens of thousands of women just like you who will invest all of their beautiful bloom time in hating the person that they made their children with. You've wisely or unwisely made a child together. You don't have the right to take the child away from the other parent. He would not have that right to take the child away from you. That's what the court said